Born and raised in Minnesota and Wisconsin, artist, writer, and public relations expert Lynda Cain Hubbard felt early in life the need to express her artistic talent and the love of the outdoors. At 20, she decided to see the world, to study different cultures, and to paint and draw, as well as to interact with the people, a story that she has finally put into her book, Living Dangerously: Journey to Nepal. Lynda's art and paintings, by the way, have been displayed in galleries in several states across the United States, as well as in Canada.
Well, when I was pretty young, I had a devastating loss and heartbreak, and I decided I had to do something. So I went out to look for my answers, and luckily I was an art student and I got a scholarship to college, art college in England, and I went across to Europe, and I traveled far and wide trying to basically get over and up this loss. And along the way, I had the most amazing adventures, and this book is about those adventures. A boyfriend, Simon, my English boyfriend, was in Nepal, and I heard that he was there, and I was over in Greece, and I thought, okay, I'll just hop on a plane and pop over there. You're 18 or 20, you think you can do anything, you're invincible. So of course I went over to Nepal and I landed in India first, and basically coming through the pass, sitting on top of a bus, on top of the backpacks, on the roof, I saw this whole Kathmandu Valley open up. Can you imagine a tsunami of white all around in a big ring around this incredible city that looked like something on a different planet? Well, this was in the late 70s, and I was a young woman traveling by myself. And I joined a lot of people along the way because I had friends from Toronto, where I came from, and they had friends in Europe in about 4 different countries, and I visited them. So I would stay with people in that country that took me around, and it was incredible. But when I came to France, I was hitchhiking. In those days, it was not a huge thing, and I was coming in late at night with in a semi, and what happened is he pulled over and started grabbing me and molesting me, and I grabbed my backpack, which was metal. It had metal around it, and I jumped out and I ran, and he actually ran after me. But I was a runner from high school, so I basically made it to the station. And and something else happened to me later on in Naples when I ended up 3 in the morning. And you can imagine how it's dark and you're in a strange city, and all of a sudden I was so tired I laid down, and the train didn't leave till 6, I found out. So I had 3 hours, so I thought I'd catch a nap. So all of a sudden I felt this breath on me, and then these hands grabbing me, and it was one of the conductors, and it was very dark. So again, I grabbed my backpack and actually clobbered him and ran my head off, and basically made it out of the train and over towards where there were some people. And I was safe, but each time you can imagine what it's like when you're traveling alone. And I did actually overcome quite an obstacle there. Oh, you can't imagine a Lama that's the head of Nepal, the Lama that is the head of all the Lamas in Nepal, and the teacher, one of the teachers of the Dalai Lama. This man was incredible. So I was able to meet with him because my patron of the arts in Nepal was a European that knew everybody. He was writing a book on Nepal, and my passport to a lot of things was because I was an artist. I could sketch, I could draw, I could paint, so he wanted me to illustrate his book. And he introduced me to the Lama, and I went to their headquarters, and basically the Lama wanted me to actually paint his picture. So I was there quite a while, and then overnight he said that I got his eyes right. So I was invited to spend the night and with the chanting going on in a strange and wonderful, actually magical place. And he was quite revered among all of the people in Nepal. And so in the morning, he told me my answer would be in the west. And he gave me a prediction of what would happen. And at that point, I knew that I had to return home at that point. And I can't tell you, you have to look in the book for the rest of it. It was magnificent. Can you imagine all these white mountains above the clouds with sunset and sunrises, all the colors of the rainbow reflecting off of the white? And I went trekking up in the hills to get to about the base camp of Mount Everest. That's at 10,000 feet. You can't go any further, otherwise you need oxygen. And so I was trekking with a Sherpa and someone delivering health medicine to their health posts. And we got to see what it was really like up in the mountains, which was actually absolutely magical. The Sherpas would play flutes and instruments every time they stopped. Everything that we ate was delicious. The water buffalo food, you know, it was actually from the water buffalo. They called it doi, and it was actually yogurt. And it was just wonderful, delicious, and fun. But also, it was very tiring. I went 8 to 10 hours trekking every single day for about a month or two, just to get up into the hills there. So that right there was actually very, very enlivening. The man that I first loved was Simon, the English boyfriend, when I went to England to art college, and I met him there. And he was from Oxford, and he was a philosophy assistant professor. And basically, we just hit it off, and it was wonderful. I was with him for a couple of years before that, and then when we broke up, that was the first devastating thing too. But actually, I went on to travel through various countries. There's Joachim in Paris, who showed me the underground life of Paris that tourists don't see. And then there was Mario in Florence. We went on the rooftops and we had dinner up there at the sunset, where you see the tops of all the sculpture. It was absolutely stunning. And then in Greece, a couple that I knew, Dimitri and his wife, took me to Crete and really saw Greek food, saw what Greece was like. Actually, of course, the Parthenon and all the fabulous ruins. So each time I fell in love, and then also Nikos was a young man that was romancing me in Greece, but his father was a Greek general. So I thought, well, I don't want someone coming after me if I steal away their son. From Greece, I went to India, and I met a bunch of students, and we were all pals and friends. And we went traveling a bit through India up into Nepal. And there I also met with Simon again. So there was many different kinds of friends, romance, and then real boyfriends along the way. It's not so different physically, but mentally and spiritually it is, because we have a lot more things. It's a hectic life, and it's not as safe as it was back then. So traveling was much safer for Americans, and also as a lot of young women today actually have more of the wherewithal to take off. So that's good. So there's some similarities and some differences, I would say. Well, actually, art was my passport to this whole adventure. And I would suggest that if someone has a loss, they actually do what they love best and keep doing that until they find their own answers in their own life. And I hope I inspire others to do that. Leila is such a great, she's 2 now, talking her head off. But you know, I look at her and I say, okay, Grandma didn't pull any punches. Here's a book about my life and my discoveries, even about the drugs at the time, the men, everything. And here's what I learned at the end in my realizations. I'm giving this to you as my story, and hopefully you'll find inspiration in it too. It is possible, but I would say the main thing is find something that you love in life. And family is wonderful too, of course, but you can actually sometimes just being productive and sometimes just traveling and seeing the world. I went halfway around the world to meet, you know, the Gurka warrior and the Lama and all these people that I met, and it changed my viewpoint of life, and that helped me overcome loss. I learned so much. I learned that my ability to journal, use a journal all the way through and write down everything, and my ability to paint and draw was one of my biggest abilities, because then I could look back and remember it so clearly. So that's what I took from it. Write a journal when you travel, you know, basically take photos or whatever you can. And that's one of the things that helped me to relive all of the adventure, magic, and mystery of going to Nepal. There's some funny parts actually throughout the whole book, but I would say the part about the Lama, the part about the Gurka warrior who I met up in the hills, and they're fierce fighting people that are now part of the British Army, and actually they defended the London Olympics. And the Gurkhas have an incredible history, and very few people know about them. So I would say that would be an interesting chapter, but also how I met the Lama and what happened. Those 2 chapters especially. That it's possible to overcome loss, that it's really possible to change your life around, open up your eyes, live life to the fullest, and basically find your own answers on whatever that is. I would say if you go to lovingdangerouslythebook.com, you'll get a whole booklet, and actually a little book on Nepal with pictures and some interesting facts about the country that you probably never knew before. So I'm giving that away free for everyone that buys the book. My own website, lovingdangerouslythebook.com, and then they get a free gift. But also Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Hugo House Publishing.
Amazing journey, physical and otherwise. The images still linger with me, a full range of senses. I felt I was on a journey too. The bumps in the road of growing up are interesting enough in one's own country. Try it in a foreign locale. This is worthy of being a movie. I can see it now. Adventure, drama, romance. One romantic scene still cracks me up whenever my thoughts drift that way. You'll have to get the book and see what I'm talking about. This is one of the many wonderful reviews that you will find on Amazon about Loving Dangerously, Journey to Nepal by author Lynda Cain Hubbard.